face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
A very warm welcome to Pulse of Africa News. Tonight, we dive into the stories shaping our continent with voices that inspire and moments that move us. I'm Ado Masai, and I'm thrilled you're here with us. Let's start with some entertainment news that hit the headlines across the continent this week. Mount Kilimanjaro has once again drawn global attention after international artist Kanye West, popularly known as Ye, listed the iconic mountain as the first global goal among his 36 personal ambitions for 2026. The handwritten note of Kanye West, titled Boss Bucket List, which recently circulated widely on the social media platform X, formerly Twitter. The list quickly gained significant attention online, recording more than 1.2 million views within a short period. The first goal on his list is named Climb Mount Kilimanjaro, showing that Kanye West sees Mount Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa, as more than just a destination, but it's a personal challenge that tests both physical stamina and mental strength, symbolizing a major life achievement. Mount Kilimanjaro, located in Tanzania, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Africa's most renowned natural landmarks. The mountain is globally recognized for its distinct ecological zones, scenic landscapes, and well-managed climbing routes that attract visitors from across the world. As global conversations continue, Mount Kilimanjaro remains firmly positioned as a destination of global significance, reflecting Tanzania's commitment to conservation, responsible tourism, and the protection of its natural heritage. Nollywood actress and filmmaker Funke Akindele's latest cinema release, Behind the Scenes, has crossed the 1 billion Nigerian naira mark at the box office, setting multiple records and consolidating status as one of the most commercially successful films in Nigeria's cinema history. The milestone was disclosed by the Film One Entertainment in a post shared on its X handle on Monday, where the distributor described the achievement as historic and unprecedented within the West African film industry. According to Film One, Behind the Scenes is now the fastest film in West Africa to gross over 1 billion naira, and also recorded the highest single-day box office gross ever on Boxing Day, earning 129.5 million naira. Quote-unquote fastest film in West Africa to cross 1 billion naira, the distributor said, adding that the movie also delivered the highest single-day gross ever on Boxing Day, 129.5 million naira. The company further announced that the film has emerged as the highest-grossing theatrical release of 2025 so far, maintaining strong momentum weeks after its cinema debut. Film One also highlighted the record-breaking run of the film's creative lead, Funke Akindele, noting that the latest success further extends her dominance at the Nigerian box office.
New roads, hotels, and services are welcoming visitors to Ethiopia's historic sites and natural wonders. Tourism creates jobs and celebrates our culture. Investing in visitors invests in our future.
The vibrant streets of Cape Town have been abuzz with excitement as American YouTuber and live streamer Darren Watkins Jr., better known as IShow Speed, makes his mark in the mother city. Currently on day 3 of his ambitious Speed Does Africa tour, which kicked off on December 29, 2025 in Angola, IShow Speed is drawing a massive audience with his high-energy presence and engaging content. Over 50 million fans are tuning in to his live stream, making it a digital sensation. As he navigates the stunning landscapes and rich culture of South Africa, IShow Speed is not only entertaining, but also immersing himself in the local community. From visiting the Gugas Thebe Cultural Center in Langa to exploring Rondebosch Boys High School alongside the Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis, his energetic interactions with locals have been a highlight of his Cape Town stay. Live streaming provides a unique canvas for IShow Speed, allowing him to showcase not just the sights but also the spirit of the locations he visits. In a recent stream, he was seen playing rugby, further connecting with the lively culture of South Africa. His openness to try local cuisine has also drawn attention. He's expressed a desire to try the iconic Gatsby sandwich, a testament to his commitment to experiencing the essence of South African gastronomy. Apart from art-related news, let's focus on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which has been entrusted with bringing a much more positive impact to Africa. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, marks a definitive turning point in Ethiopia's quest for economic sovereignty, international energy expert Mikhail Gorski said. Gorski, who is a recipient of the Global Energy Association Award, said the dam, by doubling the country's energy capacity, will provide the essential foundation for industrial growth. The experts also characterized the project's conclusion as a victory of national commitments.
From the energy standpoint, it's very, very important for the country. GERD that potentially can be 5.25, I believe. It's important. It's like making the amount of energy supply for the country 2 times more. It's very important.
Furthermore, the expert pointed out that the GERD serves as a vital regulator for the up-by water, offering improved irrigation and flood control that benefits the entire basin. Addressing the regional political landscape, the expert observed that concerns regarding the dam are often driven by internal political interests rather than technical realities. According to the expert, a dam on a transnational river is a standard engineering tool that provides stability and control, posing no logical threat to downstream neighbors. While the GERD is a historic achievement, it serves as the essential first step in a broader march toward total energy abundance and regional prosperity, the expert concluded. The Nigerian Naira ended 2025 on a positive note, posting its first annual gain in more than a decade. The currency closed at 1,429 per dollar on December 31st, up 7.4% over the year, according to official Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) data. It was the Naira's first yearly appreciation since 2012, following 13 consecutive years of depreciation driven by chronic foreign exchange shortages, heavy import dependence, and persistent market imbalances. The recovery was far from smooth. After a turbulent first half marked by high inflation, strong foreign exchange demand, and delayed capital inflows, the Naira fell to a low of around 1,602 per dollar in April. A gradual rebound began in May and accelerated in the final quarter. September marked a turning point, with the currency settling back below the 1,500 per dollar threshold. After a brief consolidation in November, the Naira strengthened further in December to end the year at its highest level in 12 months. Moving on to our business headlines of the day. Cameroon President Paul Biya said that the government would roll out a special program this year to rehabilitate deteriorated roads. The initiative will also include the construction of new roads and is expected to improve urban and intercity mobility, as well as access to key production areas, he said. The condition of Cameroon's road network has long been a public concern. Major routes, particularly those linking large cities, are badly degraded, slowing trade, extending travel times, and contributing to a rise in accidents. The 230-kilometer Yaoundé-Douala corridor highlights the problem, with journeys taking 5 to 6 hours. Details of the presidential program have yet to be disclosed, and its implementation will require substantial funding. Now, sport news. Power Dynamos Football Club has been admitted into the African Club Association, ACA, becoming the first Zambian and the 14th club on the continent to join the continental body that brings together some of Africa's most prestigious and successful football clubs. The ACA is a growing movement representing football clubs across all of Africa's 54 nations and is united by a shared mission to elevate African football on the global stage. The association aims to strengthen collaboration among clubs, protect their collective interests, and celebrate the rich legacy and achievements of African football. The inclusion of Power Dynamos FC in the ACA places the Zambian Giants and current Zambian Premier League defending champions among an elite group of clubs that have committed to shaping the future of the game on the continent. Power Dynamos membership in the African Club Association is expected to enhance its continental profile and provide opportunities for greater engagement with leading clubs across Africa. As the ACA continues its drive to strengthen and uplift African football, Power Dynamos President Benny Simukoko said. Ivory Coast head coach Emerse Faye has acknowledged the intense competition his side faces as they attempt to defend their AFCON title in Morocco. The 41-year-old famously took over from Jean-Louis Gasset during the knockout stages of the previous tournament and went on to lead the Elephants to continental glory on home soil, a triumph that secured his appointment as permanent head coach. With Ivory Coast set to face Burkina Faso in the round of 16 in Marrakesh on Tuesday, Faye insists the mandate remains unchanged as the champions begin their title defense. I just want to achieve the same thing we achieved in Côte d'Ivoire. It will be difficult because we were not at home, but we are ready for that because this is a goal for the whole country. The Elephants finished first in their group after clawing their way back from 2-0 down to win 3-2 against Gabon, a result that pleased Faye following wholesale changes to the starting 11. Faye will also be counting not only on talisman Amad Diallo, but attacker Wilfried Zaha to also pick up the pace in Let's take a look at the weather forecast across Africa. That's all for this hour. Before I conclude, I would like to invite you to watch our weekly program, The Notables, which is coming up next. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.
They shaped history. They inspired generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.
Greetings, Africa, and to audiences around the world. Welcome to Pulse of Africa, a platform dedicated to telling Africa's stories with depth, clarity, and purpose. Today, on The Notables, we reflect on the life and legacy of a woman whose influence extended far beyond environmental conservation. She demonstrated that leadership is not confined to political office or institutional authority, but can emerge through service, courage, and commitment to the common good. She was a scholar, a human rights advocate, and a champion of environmental stewardship. Through her work, she reshaped conservations on sustainability, democracy, and women's empowerment across Africa and beyond. Today, we honor a distinguished daughter of the continent, Professor Wangari Maathai, a woman whose vision transformed tree planting into a powerful movement for social and environmental change.
Africa's modern history is shaped not only by presidents and generals, but by courageous thinkers who dare to imagine a more just, sustainable and human future. Among these rare visionaries stands Professor Wangari Maathai, an environmentalist, scholar, human rights advocate, and global icon whose life demonstrated that the struggle for ecological protection, women's empowerment, and democratic governance are deeply interconnected. Wangari Maathai did not simply advocate for trees. She challenged systems of exploitation, confronted authoritarian power, and empowered ordinary people, especially women, to reclaim control over their land, livelihoods, and voices. Her legacy endures as one of Africa's most powerful examples of principled leadership rooted in community action. Wangari Maathai was born on April 1, 1940 in Ihithe village, Nyeri County in Kenya's Central Highlands. She grew up in a rural Kikuyu farming community where land was not merely an economic resource but a spiritual and cultural foundation. Forests were sacred spaces, rivers were lifelines, and trees symbolized continuity between generations. From a young age, Wangari observed the delicate balance between people and nature. She later recalled how colonial and post-colonial land practices disrupted ecosystems, forests cleared, rivers polluted, and fertile soil degraded. These early experiences quietly shaped the philosophy that would define her life's work. Her academic journey was extraordinary for a young African woman of her time. In the early 1960s, she was selected to study abroad through the Kennedy Airlift, a program that enabled promising East African students to pursue higher education in the United States. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Mount St. Scholastica College, now Benedictine College, in Kansas, followed by a master's degree from the University of Petersburg. She later continued her studies in Germany before returning to Kenya. In 1971, Wangari Maathai made history by becoming the first woman in East and Central Africa to earn a PhD specializing in veterinary anatomy at the University of Nairobi. She also became the first woman in Kenya to chair a university department and to attain a rank of associate professor, breaking academic barriers in a male-dominated space. In 1977, Wangari Maathai founded what would become her most influential legacy, the Green Belt Movement (GBA). The initiative emerged from a simple observation: rural women were struggling. They lacked firewood, clean water, nutritious food, and stable income. Soil erosion and deforestation were worsening poverty and food insecurity. Her solution was deceptively simple yet revolutionary: plant trees. The Green Belt movement mobilized women to plant indigenous trees on farms, schools, church grounds, and degraded public land. Women were trained, organized and compensated for their work, transforming environmental conservation into a grassroots economic and social empowerment movement. Over time, the impact was profound. More than 50 million trees were planted across Kenya. Tens of thousands of women gained income, leadership skills, and environmental knowledge. Degraded ecosystems were restored, protecting watersheds and biodiversity. Communities strengthened food security and resilience. Environmental action became a tool for poverty reduction, civic education, and social justice. What made the Green Belt movement unique was its philosophy. Wangari Maathai insisted that environmental degradation was not accidental, it was linked to bad governance, inequality, and exclusion. By empowering local communities, particularly women, she proved that sustainable development must be people-centered. Wangari Maathai's work soon brought her into direct conflict with Kenya's political elite. During the 1980s and 1990s, the country experienced authoritarian rule marked by corruption, land grabbing, and repression of dissent. Forests and public spaces were routinely sold or destroyed to benefit powerful individuals. Maathai refused to remain silent. She led campaigns to protect Uhuru Park in Nairobi from privatization, opposed illegal logging in protected forests, and challenged land theft disguised as development. Her activism made her a target of state violence. She was arrested multiple times, beaten by police, vilified in state-controlled media, and portrayed as unpatriotic for questioning authority. Yet, she persisted.
If we are going to shed blood because of our land, we will. We are used to that. Our forefathers shed blood for our land. We will do so. This is my blood. And it reminds me of the blood that Wayaki shed trying to protect Karura Forest.
As her work expanded, it became clear that Wangari Maathai's environmental advocacy was inseparable from broader questions of governance, equity, and justice. She recognized that environmental degradation was often the result of poor leadership, exclusion, and the misuse of power. By mobilizing communities, particularly women, she demonstrated that sustainable development must be grounded in public participation, accountability, and respect for human rights. Despite intimidation, imprisonment, and sustained opposition, she remained resolute. Her actions affirmed a fundamental principle that the protection of natural resources and the protection of democratic freedoms are deeply interconnected.
For Maathai, environmental protection was inseparable from democracy and human rights. She believed that citizens must have freedom to question leaders, access information, and participate in decision-making about their land and resources. Her courage inspired a new generation of Kenyan and African civil society leaders who recognized that ecological justice and political freedom rise together. In 2004, Wangari Maathai achieved global recognition when she became the first African woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Committee honored her for her contribution to sustainable development, democracy and peace, acknowledging the groundbreaking way she connected environmental stewardship with social and political transformation. Her Nobel Prize was more than a personal achievement. It was a symbolic victory for African environmental leadership, grassroots women's movements, community-based solutions to global challenges. Following this recognition, Maathai served in several influential roles, including Assistant Minister for Environment and Natural Resources in Kenya 2003 to 2007, United Nations Messenger of Peace, focusing on climate change and environmental governance, a global advocate for sustainable development, speaking across continents. Despite international acclaim, she remained deeply rooted in Africa, consistently emphasizing local solutions indigenous knowledge and African leadership, a legacy that continues to grow. Wangari Maathai passed away on September 25, 2011 after a battle with cancer. Yet her impact continues to grow, much like the forest she helped restore. Today, her influence is visible across Africa and beyond. Women-led environmental organizations follow the Green Belt movement model. Climate justice campaigns echo her insistence on community participation. Young Africans draw inspiration from her life as proof that moral courage matters. Global environmental discourse increasingly recognizes the link between ecology, peace, and governance. Her writings, speeches, and activism continue to educate new generations about the responsibility humanity holds toward the earth and one another. She did not merely plant trees, she planted hope, resilience, and responsibility, roots that continue to nourish Africa's future. Wangari Maathai's life reminds the world that lasting change does not always begin in corridors of power. Sometimes it begins with a seed, a community, and the courage to believe that a better world is possible.
Through resilience and unwavering integrity, she inspired a generation to view environmental responsibility as a civic duty and a foundation for lasting peace. The global community ultimately came to recognize Professor Wangari Maathai's extraordinary contribution, honoring her for a lifetime dedicated to environmental stewardship, democratic values, and community-centered development. Her work extended far beyond conservation. It reshaped global understanding of the relationship between environmental protection, peace, and social justice. Her vision continues to inspire movements committed to climate action, ethical leadership, and responsible governance across Africa and the world. Professor Wangari Maathai's life stands as a powerful testament to the impact of persistence, moral courage, and service to humanity. Stay connected to Pulse of Africa, where the continent's stories, voices, and legacies continue to shape our shared future. Thank you for joining us.
They shaped history. They inspired generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.